Alright guys, this time on Deep Junk we're going deep undercover. Our 79 Caprice gets a facelift, and we're going to go back in time, catch some perps, clean up the streets. To hell with Kojak. Who's Starsky and Hutch anyway? These questions will all be answered in a minute. Alrighty, another one done, the 79 Caprice. Looking tough, in our fleet gray, all ready to go out and do some work on the streets. Give you a little walk through here, the build of the car. I lost a little bit of footage at the front, so please excuse it. It's going to come right on when the car's apart, but you'll see enough of it to know where we started with, and then we'll finish up at the end. Alright guys, I got the 79 Caprice apart, and I had drilled those posts into this. For this being a cheapy Playart car, it did not want to come apart. These posts were peened over. If you've seen the first part where I introduced the car, they were like a perfect circle. And when it had done that, it had these the posts down inside. See, they step up, or they step down, I should say, from the body. Well, that shaft at the end where it steps down was, when it was peened over, it must have mushroomed out a little bit, because even with the head drilled off, it still did not want to let any, the chassis go. It did crack the chassis a little bit. Nothing's ruined. The front end, the rear bumper, that rear bumper, it did not want to let go. No damage really to the body, or like I said, that rear bumper piece back in here, I can clean that up. The chassis, there's a little bit busted off there, that where it cracked. That's no big deal, I can fix that. So it didn't really hurt the car. It can be fixed. It'll be better, better than ever when it's done. Just not the way I want things to come apart. Interior, it's in decent shape. Like I said, I've owned the car the whole time. Was never played with, it was never outside, so you see that back hole. They just did not want to come off of it. So a lot of axle coming out of that backside. Yep. So we'll get that back bumper cleaned up, the front end, fix that base, and next is off to some paint stripper for the body. We'll see what it has under the paint. Alright guys, I'm in the ventilated room here, the room of doom, with my favorite adult beverage container. I had to cut away, lost a little footage there of putting the stripper on the Caprice and the Nova delivery. Bodies were due ready about the same time for a strip, so I just, two birds, one stone kind of thing. But I had to cut away. The aerosol can, that nozzle, I was having a little problem with it on the quick strip, and so I lost the footage of it going into the bath. But just as always, in the container, that stuff foams up. We let it work. You can hear the exhaust fan. They've got plenty of ventilation, safety first, and we'll let that work for a little bit. It's kind of a 2-for-1 deal with both cars, and then we'll come back and see what they look like. Alright, with the paint gone, we can take a look at the body. Now this has got some of the usual flash, extra metal here and there. Usually that paint covers it up, sometimes it doesn't, but the usual up around the window openings, the wheel wells, there's a cast line up in there, or molding or body lines, I should say, on the front fenders and the quarter panels. They need work. We knew that. One thing that was troubling me was the back side here, the back side of the deck lid. If you look right here at the edge, a bunch of garbage there, and that shouldn't be too hard to take care of at all, except it goes down around the quarter panel, right around the corner on the quarters. And this side, there's what should be a marker light there, and it's looking pretty rough. If I can smooth out that quarter, I'm going to take the marker light with it, which is kind of a shame because the marker light on the driver's side is there and kind of prominent. I could get rid of that little booger up there at the top. So the back side of this I'm going to have to work around, see what I can do. I probably am not going to be able to save those marker lights, because one side goes, I'll take the other. Got a little bit of time in these body lines in the quarter and the fender. It shouldn't look too bad. Just see what I can do with this back end. Alrighty, and after a few hours of sanding and straightening, our Caprice is looking a lot better. To put a little primer on it and sand it, see where it goes from there. But we're pretty good, I think. Just a little checkup, with the primer and any more sanding that may have to go on. As for color, usually by this time in the build, I know what color I'm doing. Usually I know right away where I want the car to go, how I want it to be. So this one, I hadn't figured it out. I know the general direction it's going to go. It's thinking like 80s cop movies, cop shows. The police detectives always rolled up in a Caprice or an Impala, something dark, dark green, blue, gray, black, something along that line. Get a little primer on it and see what happens here. Alrighty, Caprice is out of paint. Got a nice fleet gray on there without clear coat. I like the looks of it better without a clear coat on it. Got mocked up again with the Matchbox wheels and tires. I like those. Look like a small hubcap, kind of, strippo cop car kind of deal. Changed our interior to basic black. Got details thrown in on the rear bumper, the front bumper, turn signals, and the grille done up on it. And our glass polished up real nice. It's looking good. So we'll start to put this one together and get some detail on the back side of it, tail lights and that, get that done. I've already done the door handles on it, and we should be ready to take down some perps, some bad guys. Already all finished up. Our Caprice isn't looking too bad. I like the look with the small hubcap on it and a fleet gray. It gives it that detective kind of car look. It's not too flashy. Poverty hubcaps on it. Only thing I did add is the rocker trim down there with some chrome pen. I smoothed up on that. For a Playart car, a little detail in the back side, some tail lights, chrome around the tail lights, did the bumper guards and the rubber on the bumper. Nothing underneath to even show, no exhaust. The front, they're kind of that cheap chassis, and the wheels. Can't really get too excited over it, but it is a '79 Caprice and no one else makes one, so. But I dig it. I enjoy working on this kind of stuff, and it reminds me of every cop show and movie during the late '70s, early '80s when they had a Caprice or an Impala, screaming around town after bad guys. The only noise you heard was the siren and the howl of wind being sucked into a quadrijet carburetor. And any of you older guys will know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun building. Thank everyone for stopping by to check it out. All you new subscribers, thank you guys. If you're new here and dig the Caprice build or anything else, you go back and look at it. Please subscribe and hang out. I'm getting some more cool cars, and then in the future. And I will see you there in the next one.